guys, Jess from Knockout Print Shop here, and today I wanted to do a quick review, which is a long time coming. I should have done this a long time ago, on the Passion Planner Pro. So when I got this planner last summer, they had gone to only one size, which is the Pro or the medium. This year in 2019, they came back with, I think that either 2019 release or the academic release, they came back with all three sizes. So now they have a small or compact, the medium is the Pro, and I think the large is called the Classic. So I got this because I heard from a lot of customers this is one of their planners they were using, and they were curious about us making stickers for them, things like that. So we got it last summer, and I used it intermittently. I think it's a really awesome planner, but as I'll explain here, you'll see why this is not the ideal planner for somebody like me. So if your lifestyle's like me, this might not be the best planner for you. But if it's not like mine, it could be. So let's just start with the look and feel and the aesthetic of the planner. Obviously, this is a decal from us that I put out here. I like this cover though because you can actually easily put decals on it. Not so much with the IncoPress covers anymore. So that's a good feature. I mean, it's not like permanent, but it's stayed on there pretty well. I'm liking more and more this book style of planner. I just got some bullet journals from Archer and Olive, and I really like this kind of sewn book situation. So I don't know if this is real leather or not. I'm guessing it's not, but it's not a super hard cover. It's sturdy enough. It does have what do you call that? Like a book band. I never use it because I don't take this planner with me. It obviously has the little tassel to mark your pages, and no joke, until just now, a year later, did I ever even notice it has a pocket, which is actually kind of a cool material. I think it'll be a lot more durable than like the paper ones that you see, and I think IncoPress and a lot of other planners. And I think it lays pretty flat without ripping. Again, I haven't used it a lot, so there's that. So I think it's a good quality planner, and it's not super expensive. So when you flip it open, you have your usual situation with the person that owns it page. It was funny, right before I did this video, I was just kind of thumbing through it, and I just opened up to one of these roadmaps I think it was in the middle of it, and I was like, that's really interesting. I never even paid attention to this. I kind of flipped through it before, but this actually kind of called to me a little bit more now, this make a wish list thing, kind of where I'm at in my life right now. This is actually, could be a very good activity for me to do. When I first got this, I could have cared less about this part, but I think if you're kind of in this pondering what the future holds kind of situation, I think this cool little activity could work. So you have this little roadmap of setting your goals and priorities and things like that. I can't tell you how well this works because clearly I've never used it. If you don't care about this kind of thing, this will be a waste to you. There's obviously some instruction here on breaking down your plan into your weekly layouts, which I actually think is cool. It's obviously, for many of us, challenging to take these big goals and break them down into weekly tasks. So it's nice that they kind of give you examples here on how this would look and how to prioritize. Again, I didn't read through any of this, but for some people, I think this could be a very nice addition to the planner. And then you get into the month view. So I do like that this planner is black and white or grayscale, neutral, whatever you want to call it. I do love color a lot, but as time has gone on, I've started to really appreciate neutral colors, because then you can put whatever color sticker you want, use your highlighters, whatever. Yet at the same time, sometimes I get stressed out when I have to pick colors. So I'm on the fence about that. I do like this paper. I think it's nice. It's obviously not as thick as IncoPress or like an Archer and Olive bullet journal, but I think it's nice, and I don't remember getting a lot of bleed through. So I think the paper's nice. The cool thing, if you have the Passion Planner Pro, our monthly labels that are labeled bound or disc version will work really nicely in the month view. So if you're a Passion Planner person and you need some month labels, these work out really well. Pretty self-explanatory, basic calendar here. I like these features of see, go, and not do list. I never used this. I think depending on what you're looking for, if you're looking for some very, very specific categories in different parts of your planner, this can help you kind of break things down so you can identify different parts of your life that you want to focus on, things you want to do. when I bought this, I wasn't really focused on these things, but I can definitely see as, you know, the year goes by and I'm at different phases of my life, these things may become more important. I might like this layout and appreciate it more. This is cool down here, this like project situation. I'm not really good at project planning, and the fact that like I just do something, I come up with a list and start checking it off. I'm like intuitively strategic. I don't need to like make this thing, like I'm not very, I don't like dedicate a page to my project and line it out. Maybe if I had some bigger projects that would be more important, but we're so automated with what we do, this stuff is not necessarily hugely important to me, but I can see how it could work. I guess if you don't have any work, if you're maybe a student or something, this might not matter, but you could always put a label over that. I think it's cool that it has the due dates there. So again, people that are working with deadlines, whether it's school deadlines, work deadlines, personal projects at home that you want to give a deadline, I think this is a good central place to come back and look at your projects. And then you'll see this kind of like mind mapping empty space here to do whatever you want kind of on every single month and week. So I think this layout is very good, and it brings together a lot of good pieces if this is something that you're looking for. If you want something very specifically designated to call out these different things. Of course, you can always go in and cover these up, and make these sections be whatever you want. Sometimes with too many sections of things, I get overwhelmed, so sometimes I just need open space. So that's the month. Again, paper is really nice. So here's like some of the spreads I did clearly last year. And I was using this mostly for time logging. So I like to do you've heard me talk about this before if you watch my other videos, I like to go through certain times for a couple of weeks and log my time every half hour, every 15 minutes to kind of see where I'm spending time. I think it's a really good practice to see where you are wasting time or like leaking energy, and where you could be more efficient, or if you're like just confirming like, hey, got a pretty solid schedule and this works. So I think it's good to have that picture. So I think that's what I was doing here, if I can remember right, last year. So I wasn't putting these things in preemptively, I was putting them in right after they happened and like kind of going, okay, this is how long we worked here, this is how long we worked there. For some people, this line height, which I think is like 0.16 high, is very small, the height. If you write big, this can be very difficult. Inkwell press line space is about 0.226. For me, I don't mind writing slow. I liked how my handwriting went on these lines and on this paper. I'm, as you know, obsessed with writing boxes around things. So I did like how this worked. I liked using the pen stuff to write lists, and I use stencils here for the check boxes. And then to call out different tasks, I use some of our Passion Planner stickers, like to use like when we walked, when we were training, shopping, things like that. I like looking at this more from a memory standpoint than a schedule standpoint. So one of the reasons this planner is not ideal for me, unless I'm using it to kind of log after the fact, is our life isn't really based on time. Since we're self-employed, we don't really have meetings, we don't have appointments, I don't go to fitness classes, I don't really have anything that's appointment based. I don't really have a need for a schedule-based planner, unless, like I said, I'm gonna go back later and do some time like blocking or time, just logging and things like that. I know a lot of people do use this to time block, like they allot out, like this is how much I'm gonna work, this is how much I'm gonna study, this is dedicated to kid things. I've tried time blocking before and was a huge fan of it for a while, but it started to stress me out because it wasn't really necessarily making me more productive. But if you like time blocking, clearly this would be good for that. Down here you have, obviously, this space you can use whatever for. I clearly didn't use it. And then you have some work into personal to-do lists. They're broken down to top priority, and errands. For me personally, I would just rather have one running list. I know a lot of people cover this up and kind of DIY it and make it what they want. I love quotes, but I never really paid attention to the quotes in here. And I don't know if that's just because it was black and white and there's already so much going on. It kind of got lost. And I never used the weekly focus or good things that happen. Though now in my Inkwell, I do have a weekly kind of like highlights that I use on my sidebar. So this would come more in handy, I think, now than it did a year ago. So that's kind of that. So I'll just kind of flip through and see what I did here. Same thing here. I was kind of time blocking things out and using lists a little bit, noting my bedtime. Geez, I was going to bed late last year. This is actually kind of interesting to go back and look at this. So maybe I will use this to track like time so I can go back and see how my life has changed over the years. That's an interesting thought. And kind of same thing here. Little work to-do list blocked in with how much time I took to do them. And I think this might have just been for pictures because clearly I don't use, this looks a little bit odd color-wise. Our daily task list for Passion Planner obviously fit right in there. Oh my gosh, let's see. I did a little bit here and that was pretty much it. So here you could say I used more stickers. Again, I really do like this paper a lot. I like how writing on it. Stickers go down really well and are pretty easy to remove. I don't mind the narrower width or the narrower height of the lines, but if you do need more space to write, this size, I don't know the Classic. The Classic might be bigger. This size can be a bit challenging for people. And then you have the monthly reflection. Again, at the time I bought this planner, I did not care about this monthly reflection situation. Now we make our own for Inkwell Press, and I again think I'd appreciate this a bit more. I think the questions are useful and they can bring to light a lot of things for people that are looking to reflect on their months to help them keep it going forward. So I think, again, depending on what you're looking for out of a planner, these components can be really helpful or they can just be kind of useless extras. It just really depends. And I think, looks like I used it like maybe intermittently a little bit here. And I think I tried here to do something a little different, like covering up the times, kind of doing a menu here, and then doing top 3 to-dos. Clearly that didn't work out. I didn't really rely on the planner for that. This was another one where I'm just kind of barely using it. Labeled it finances for this week, and I think that might be the end. Oh no, I did more. So I did a little bit here in it, but not much, using different stickers. Is that the end? That's it. So that's how much I used it. I didn't use it a lot. Honestly, I think this planner would come in handy for somebody like me that doesn't have a scheduled life, maybe the undated, because I could use this more for like time logging and memory keeping. Not so much like scrapbooking memory keeping, but being able to look back and going, oh, okay, last summer, this was kind of my schedule. This is how often we did this, or last week I did that, versus using this from a productivity standpoint. For me, that wouldn't work. I did, like I said, use these little blocked out time frames to run to-do lists, but I just don't think that's effective for me. I just need a central to-do list somewhere, and then maybe just kind of block out times to do logging and things like that. So I don't know. I think this planner is great. It just really depends if this is what you're looking for. I do think there's also in here somewhere a mid-year like reflection, if I'm not mistaken. I think that's what I came across. I swear to God, there was a mid-year. Oh, here, an end-of-year reflection. There was a there it is. Okay. So this was okay, because the mid-year would be January. This is the academic. So this is another like revision of your roadmap. So you can kind of touch base with how you've done things. I think if you are goal-oriented, schedule-oriented, or looking to do some time blocking or time logging, and you appreciate having things kind of boxed off with different titles for you, I think this planner can work really good. Quality, top notch. I think it's a great quality planner. I haven't used it a ton, but I think, again, paper, everything's good. I love the company. I think they're cool. What they stand for is cool. I think people that really use this planner have the coolest spreads. But I don't know. I think I might have to try it again with a different intention, and it might be more useful to me. So we shall see. A couple things to note, though, is on the Pro, the line height and width might be an issue for people. And that's pretty much it. And I'm pretty sure this planner stays the same year over year. I don't think the company's very old, maybe a couple of years old, and I don't think that the layout is very different than it has been in past years. So that is my, oh, it was gonna be quick, 15-minute review of the Passion Planner Pro. Let me know if you guys have any questions, if you guys have used this planner. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I'd love to hear your thoughts on how you use it, and I will see you in the next video.